everyone? I'm Scott Gonzalez. I am the founder and managing partner of Gravitant Growth Partners. We help service-based AI. We help AI service-based businesses grow in 180 days up to capacity. Anyways, enough about that. I'm here to talk about something personal. I've been talking about something personal the past 3 episodes, but I wanted to kind of talk about this through my own experiences. And this is one of the biggest things I've learned that is attributing to my goals and attributing to my success currently, and that is reducing your risk, especially for entrepreneurs. Okay, so a lot of people I don't want to generalize, but from my experience, like seeing friends do this all the time. Well, a lot of them did. I had a couple of friends who had that entrepreneurship spirit. They wanted to have their own business. But at the time we were young, so we couldn't really start a business. Well, most of us didn't. We had jobs, part-time jobs, full-time jobs, whatever it is. I saw this one friend, I'm not going to name drop them or anything. Saw this one friend get a job, good paying job. And, since they have a good paying job, they got some more money. So they got more clothes, nicer clothes, went out to eat a lot, got a new car, and then they got a better paying job, so they got an even more expensive car. They basically had lifestyle inflation, right? They're matching their lifestyle with the amount they're getting paid from the job. Now, mind you, this person still wanted to do some entrepreneurship things. They started a business on the side. Now their job was very not laid back, but it was like they just show up and they get paid basically, right? So he focused a lot of his time on his business. Now, I hit him up. I'm like, hey, how's the business going? He's like, oh man, like it's kind of going bad. Like I want to do it, but I can't afford it right now. I'm like, what do you mean you can't afford it? He's like, well, my operating cost to run this business is cost this much, but I don't even have that much money at the end of the month. I'm like, what do you mean? Like your job pays you a good amount. Like how do you not have money? He said, well, I have my car, I have bills, I have this new phone I have to pay for, I bought some clothes. I'm like, so you're getting paid this much and you're spending all of it? He said, basically. So this really soured me just because I was in this position once, and it was very bad. And I made a lot of terrible financial mistakes in my life. And being 20 years old, that's a lot to say. So when I was 18, I had credit cards. I had credit cards just because I got approved for pretty much not all of them, but a lot of them, and I had a good limit, like 3,000, 2,000, 3,000. I had good limit, right? Anyways, so when I was young, I had a job. I had a grocery store job. I had credit card. I spent money on the credit card. I didn't pay my bill. I basically maxed it out, all of them out, and then I got a really good paying job as a salesperson. More than most of my friends were making at this time, and we were just right out of high school. So I was like, oh wow, I got a good paying job. I still had debt. I was paying the minimum monthly payment. I didn't really think about it. All my credit cards. Then I got a new car. I got a Tesla Model 3 at 19 years old, which sounds like a flex. And at the time, I liked that it was a flex because I was that kind of person, which I have grown now. 18, sorry. And since I'm 20 years old now, I've grown a lot from that person in that span of time. Anyway, so I got this car, I'm like, oh yeah, I got a Tesla. I'm like this age. It was my dream car at the time. But I was working this job and I had this car that I had to pay for because I didn't pay it off. And I still had bills. And I'm like, I kind of look back on him like, what do I wanted to start a business, So at the time I had started my social media marketing agency, and to run that agency you need some money to for softwares, to things to basically operating costs for the business. So I was in the same boat as my friend was, and I was remembering I'm like I need to lower my risk so I can spend more on these opportunities that could yield me a way higher return, like lifetime size returns. I'm like, okay, so I pretty much had to swallow my pride and get rid of the car, pay off all the debts. So I got rid of the car. I got a cheaper car, fully paid off. It's actually my favorite car of all time that I've driven ever. which is a 2008 4Runner. I wanted a 4Runner, and it was great. I got this thing for a great deal. So it's paid off, debt's paid off. And once I've lowered the risk, so I don't have all these payments, I don't have to worry about car payment. My insurance is lower because it's an older car. I don't have to worry about, debt payments or anything. I'm like, oh, now I can actually fund my business. And I could, on a technicality, I could spend a certain amount of money. Like I say, my car payment for my Tesla was $800 a month, which was insane. Like my rate was super low, but because I got co-signed, but that payment was insane. So now I just gained $800 back a month to spend on myself as an investment, not in clothes or anything, as an investment. So now imagine if I run this business and this business only costs, let's say, hypothetically $200 a month to run, right? If I spend $800 on that business, it's just going to yield me a higher return. Like I'm going to get better at it faster. I'm going to learn, I can buy more courses. I can learn from this person. So even if I do lose all that money, I'm still okay because I don't have to pay for a car payment, My car's paid off. I don't have to worry about that. And that's kind of the thing, is lowering your risks so you can take, better opportunities and more opportunities. And that was the one thing that I'm so glad I've learned at that, like right when I did, I was like, just made the decision. Like, I don't want to deal with this anymore. I want to be able to, fund a business and not worry about bills. If I lose $300 on a course that I wasn't good or something like that. Right. And this is what I told my friend, and he's working on it. Like, he doesn't really want to get rid of anything, but I told him it's either you want to run a business or you want to get a higher paying job and keep this and not inflate your lifestyle. But that's they're not the story. It's just kind of the lesson I'm taking from this, and I wanted to set this in this video, audio, whatever format you're listening to, watching or listening this on. Kind of was set in a stone that if you lower your risks on everything, you can take, more opportunities that you want to take without having to worry about anything. Like, I don't have to worry about, if I spend $200 in my business, I'm not gonna be able to pay rent. I don't have to worry about that anymore, just because of the risks I've lowered. You lower payments, fade off car, whatever it is. If you reduce the risk, first of all, you take off a lot of stress on yourself. Second off, you can do, you can take a lot of risks now without risk. Yeah, if you know what I'm saying. But that's just kind of the message I want to put out there for myself, as kind of like a personal note to remember when I look back at this. If you do take some value out of this, I'm happy you did. But I hope you guys have a good night and happy holidays.